Hi, my name is Sarah Thompson, and this is EDL 853, Module 8, Get This Child Out of My Room. A little bit about the case study. Schuyler is a K-2 through 12 comprehensive school in a rural area. The superintendent is just able to visit each school on a weekly basis. The child that we are looking at in this case study is Carl. He's a third grader. He's actually a little on the larger side for a third grader, so that brings much greater concern for his self-abusive behavior and his aggressions towards his teacher. He has been on an IEP and he's been on a behavior plan which looks at consequences and rewards. And his teacher is Susan. His special education teacher is Susan. She was just hired out of college, so this is her first experience as a teacher, and she replaced a teacher with 25 years experience. Nancy is the third grade teacher of Carl, and she's been teaching for 10 years, and Carl is the one who has been aggressive with her. So that is the reason why she wants him out of her room, because she feels like the behavior intervention plans have not been working. A little bit about Carl's history with his parents. They divorced 3 months ago. They do have joint custody, but they've had hostile and heated arguments which have led to the police being called. Mom's had to take on a job to help with the household finances since there are no longer two incomes, and so she's working 50 hours a week. First of all, we're going to look at the problem identification and analysis. What do I know? I know that Carl has become a child from a split home. He previously had self-abusive behaviors, but this has switched into aggressive behaviors towards his teachers, and they are worried that is going to extend to other students. He is on a current IEP, and he does have a behavior plan that they've been following, and they are saying that it no longer works. And because of it not working, because of him throwing pencils at her, throwing rocks at windows at other teachers, Nancy wants Carl to be out of her room and into a more inclusive area. What do I need to know? What I am wondering is what exactly is on this current plan. Is it being followed exactly how it is written? Are the teachers doing everything that has been laid out, or are they just trying bits and pieces or trying it when it works and just throwing their hands up and saying it's not working? Also, I would like to see a functional behavior assessment done. They are just saying that it happens whenever Carl feels like it, but I would like to see what was the antecedent? What happened before this behavior? What exactly was the behavior? What was the result of this behavior? Just to know exactly what might be the triggers, if we see it happen at the same time each day or during the same part of the curriculum each day, that might be able to better explain what's going on with Carl and why he is acting out the way that he is. And also another question is, how much time is he spending with his parents? He is now in joint custody. Mom works all the time now. So how much time is he actually getting with mom? Is she working, cooking, and then going to bed? Is dad spending his quality time with them? It's just, why is he acting out? And how much time is he getting with that attention that every third grader needs? And so identifying the problem is simple. He has become very aggressive towards himself, aggressive to teachers, and there is a fear that he's going to be aggressive towards other students. He obviously needs a new behavior plan. The previous special education teacher wrote this, and she is no longer with the school, and it's very hard to implement a plan that you did not create yourself. So the idea of a new behavior plan, creating a work environment to where both of the teachers can work together, and where they stated they would call in administration, call in a male teacher to help remove him from the room when there is a out of control behavior. And so this all has to be written down, documented, parents have to agree with it, everybody has to sign, so a new behavior plan can be implemented. And right now, I feel that he's receiving no positive interactions. His parents are hostile, they're aggressive, police are involved, mom's grumpy and angry. She's having to work. She's outside of the home that she knows. The teachers are frustrated with him because of his lack of participation in the classroom due to his aggressive behavior and having to be moved out, and the behavior that he's giving to the teachers. So right now everybody is not happy with the situation going on. So positive interactions are just lacking. Next, we're going to look at the proposed plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. The plan. The plan was a great one that the special education teacher had talked about, getting administration involved, getting a male role model involved to help remove him when he displays aggressive behavior. That way it does not disrupt the studies of the class. It's not interrupting curriculum, but he is not being removed from the class more than what he needs to be. But it gives him a calming time. And he also needs to receive services for social emotional help. It was stated in the case study that his siblings have emotional problems and they are receiving services, but it never stated that he was. So I think he really needs to have somebody to open up to and share his emotions and his problems. And also parents, teachers, everybody involved with him need to model appropriate behavior. They need to show him how to react when you're angry, what to do when you're mad and frustrated, and how to do that appropriately. Because obviously the parents aren't if police are involved. And even when the parents came for the new behavior plan, they were grumpy and yelling at each other. The teacher was talking under her breath. So it's just the appropriate behavior is not being modeled around this child, and he needs to be taught how to act. Next, we're going to look at resolving the issues based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for the students? And I'm looking at all students. Students need positive reinforcement. They need positive reactions. They need to be praised when something good occurs. They need to be uplifted instead of always being torn down. For all the students, they also need to be taught self-regulation strategies. What do I do if I'm angry? What do I do if I'm upset? They just, at the third grade level, they're very much learning about themselves, so they also have to learn how to control their emotions. And if we don't teach them, they will not figure it out. Also, peer tutoring, holding the students accountable for each other, modeling behavior, acting out, role plays, being work buddies as far as in the classroom. Just being held accountable for each other will also be a success for all the students. Next, I'm going to debrief the problem. What was I thinking? What was I feeling? I was frustrated because I don't feel that he's had the opportunity to express himself about the divorce. It happened 3 months ago, and he's acting out in ways that are not conducive to school, but nobody stopped to say, why is he acting out? What has gone on since this divorce? How is he feeling? So the opportunity that he hasn't got to express himself is very sad. And the teacher was very unprofessional and taking issues personal. She was not giving him a chance. She tried a little bit and said, I'm done. She gave up on him. And then she's taking it personal. She's taking those issues from not having the previous teacher and what was working in the past and directing it on the new teacher and just saying, well, that's not what she would do. But that's taking it too personal, not allowing the new teacher to succeed or try. So again, another unprofessional means that this teacher was taking. Also, there was a psychological profile that stated that the intellectual functioning and his emotional problems were not severe enough to warrant full-time services. But what exactly did that profile state? What did the profile recommend? What did it show? So it just left a lot of unanswered questions. So it made me really ponder what was going on in the classroom, and I was really disheartened with the teacher, really not happy with how she handled herself in a professional way. What issues are still unresolved or open to further investigation? First of all, the parental response. Mom initially just said, "Give me the papers and I'll sign it, just do whatever." And I know she has stress. I know with the work situation, I would like to see what Dad said. There was no response from Dad. Also, Mom just said, "What should I do? Just put him on Ritalin?" And I would be curious to see what his medical doctor said. Again, like I've notated the psychological evaluation, but what did they say? Is medication an option? Is it not recommended? You know, the word Ritalin was just very quickly thrown out without having a backing as to why. And I feel another unresolved issue is that Carl just wants somebody to care about him. Carl just wants somebody to be around, to show him how to live, how to act, just acknowledge his presence. I feel that he's liking this from his education, from his parents, and I feel that he feels very alone right now. Next, we're going to look at providing evidence that I promote the academic success and personal well-being of every student by enhancing instructional capacity. This is looking at what I would do as an administrator. And to promote academic success for every student, first and foremost, least restrictive environment. These kids have to be with their peers. They have to have these models. They deserve to engage with their peers and have discussions with them and be involved with them. But they also need the individualized support. Not every child learns alike, as all of us in this profession know. You have to break down lessons for some learners. You have to advance lessons for some learners. You have to keep them engaged and wanting to learn, and also involving the learner. Ask them questions. Make them aware of what is going on. Have them question you about it. Have them go into deeper research. Every child needs to be involved in their own learning, so they are held responsible for it. And promoting the personal well-being of each student, engaging in the curriculum, again, foster their interest, communicate the importance of what they are learning and the knowledge that they are gaining. Have supportive environments. Motivate the children to exceed. Encourage, engage, give them feedback. Let them know what they're doing is appropriate and why they are learning it. And social emotional supports. Help them build language and communication skills. Teach them techniques on how to communicate and practice these every day. To enhance instructional capacity, build a collaboration process. The biggest thing is communicating, working together as a team, giving each other feedback or recommendations, developing improvement plans. I would really develop an improvement plan for this teacher, just so she can go get re-educated and more help and more classes, so that she just doesn't give up on these children when they become difficult. She needs to have a plan in place of how she is going to react to these students appropriately without just shaking her hands and saying, "I'm done." She needs a plan. Um, as as we would not give up on students, I would not give up on this teacher. She just needs to be shown how to react appropriately. And also provide individualized supports. As we would students, other professionals, other teachers, other psychologists, go in the room, model, show, encourage, role play, and practice when students aren't around. This will only give her the support that she needs to continue in her own career. So thank you for listening. This was a very interesting case study. I know that a lot of people have been a little worked up over it, not being able to imagine how a teacher would just walk away or just say, "Get this student out of my class," which is the same as giving up on a student, walking away. So it was very interesting to read and follow up on, and I hope as administrators we will do our best to help these teachers that most likely just need that help and that support themselves, just like our students.